we get to talk about stuff that we've watched recently since we last recorded a podcast. Evan, what have you watched recently?
Well, Dylan, recently I consumed the Netflix original comedy movie Bad Trip, starring Eric Andre and
another guy,
Little Ray Howery. I'm not familiar with him, but he's the
friend from
Tiffany
Get Out.
Haddish.
And Tiffany Haddish.
Yes, the friend from Get Out is how I know him. He's very good as Rod in Get Out.
Yes.
Yeah. What about here? Did he give you the rod?
No, I enjoyed it. I really like Eric Andre's brand of humor, which is just absolute insanity, and I think he brought that to this movie well enough. I would have maybe liked to see a few things lean more into that, but there's definitely a lot of gags that are firmly in that realm of comedy, and like all the jokes were pretty good. Like usually in these types of hidden camera prank movies, there's like at least a couple where you're like, oh, that's bad, or I didn't laugh. But pretty much everyone either elicited like at least a chuckle or a laugh, but they were mostly just hitting, which is all you really want in these types of things.
Yeah.
Because like I'll say the plot elements themselves are pretty like standard, generic. Chris and Bud are just they have dead end jobs. They live in Florida, terrible state.
We're coming for all of them.
Yeah, we really are.
Line them up.
But they want to do something with their lives, and Chris, Eric Andre, he's reconnected with his high school crush, and he just wants to impress her and fall in love with her. And when she mentions that she has a studio, an art studio in New York City, that's the inciting incident. He's like, Little Ray, or Little Rel? Sorry, not Ray. Little Rel, we gotta go to New York. We have to.
There's a porn star called Lil Ray. Evan, you got something on the mind?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
The only Little Ray I know is Jumping Out the Sky.
Who's that jumping out the sky? R.E. Mysterio. Here we go. When the mask out, the girl that gets out, the boy just back out. Better tap out.
Yeah.
Booyaka.
Booyaka.
So yeah, it's just a road trip movie. That they steal the car of Lil Rel's sister, who's played by Tiffany Haddish, and she's a convict who's in prison, and she escapes and is pissed at them because they stole her car. And so the whole thing is just them going throughout this road trip, trying to get to New York, and all throughout this trip, Tiffany Haddish is trying to murder them. And hilarious pranks ensue. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think of, I saw Bad Grandpa, Jackass's Bad Grandpa with Johnny Knoxville, and that's on a similar level to this, which I thought that movie was pretty good. But It's like, the jokes are funny in the moment and you have a good time and you laugh, but it's not exactly a movie that I'm gonna, like, I don't know, rewatch or think about too much after I watched it. But it's just, hey, that was a good time, like, cool.
Yeah,
you know?
That's all you can hope for with a Netflix movie. I mean, that's the ideal.
Oh yeah, no, it's a fun movie. I watched it with him, and it's just it has some really entertaining pranks. And while they're outlandish, they never quite cross the line into being too absurd to be a prank. Like some of the stuff like Impractical Jokers do, where they're like, "Oh, we got your DNA test back, and you're part werewolf." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all believable, at least to an extent, while they are pretty crazy.
See, it'd
it's
be
like,
a much better thing to go to Boston and tell people that that their DNA test reveals that they're part any minority.
Yes, and that's something that Borat would do. But
yeah,
and I thought it was interesting because the Borat stuff frequently exhibits like the worst of people, like just people getting involved in horrible stuff if it seems like everybody's doing it, or if a guy standing in a room is telling them to. While most of the interactions they have with normal people are just them being bros or like responding in a super weird way to what happened, and it's a little bit more wholesome.
Like there's one guy in particular. There's a scene they crash the car. They crash Tiffany Haddish's car. And they're arguing with each other. This is the low point in the story where they have conflict, and they're like, this trip isn't working out. Fuck this. And they're fighting. And this random guy on the street who witnessed the crash, which they do for real, in front of a crowd of random people. He's just, at first, is very concerned and is asking if they're okay, but when they start breaking out into like a fist fight, he's just trying to separate them, and he's trying to talk them both through their differences. He's just a perfect moderator. That was great. I love that.
If we wait here till the police come, we going to jail. No. That's a stolen car.
All I'm gonna tell y'all, don't mention that shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Just don't even tell them that shit. Hey, man. Chill out, man. Chill out, bro.
Fucking kick you in the face.
Chill out, man.
Yeah, there's also a heartwarming scene between the characters, and everybody in real life clapped.
That's great.
Yeah. No,
they're on a bus, and they're rekindling their relationship, and they hug it out, and then everyone just starts cheering and clapping for them. Yeah. And then they start hugging everyone. It's pretty good.
There's like this idea to the movie that becomes clear that it's at least somewhat intended from the fact that this weird plot they have with white chicks, but it's very clear that the part of the joke of these pranks is that people in real life will just respond to stimuli like a crappy buddy comedy character. And yeah, that seems to be a lot of the joke with it. It's just like, Eric Andre's sad, and he asks a random old guy for advice, and the guy gives him very genuine, helpful advice on a bench.
And I say, go for it. If you don't, the rest of your life, you're going to be sitting here saying, what if I would've, what if I could've.
And then he goes like, oh, I'm good now, and he moves the story on, and and
then he breaks out into a musical number in the middle of the street.
Yes.
I saw a girl today, the one that got away. I saw... Holy cow!
Yeah, it's just funny to see people actually respond in that way. The only things that make people respond less like that kind of character is anything that's related to violence or criminality, then everyone just becomes a huge fucking snitch.
Did anybody here see which way these motherfuckers went?
They got in the car and went that way.
Why the fuck these niggas up?
I saw some behind the scenes thing where he's explaining his process. It was very interesting. I don't know where that is, but you can probably just find it on YouTube.
Eric Andre Show Pranks. Uploaded to IGN's YouTube.
Yeah, anytime you shoot a prank in an interior location, you got to get permission from the owner, and you pay them a location fee. But you're not pranking the owner, so his employees or her employees are not necessarily in on it. Or if they have to be in on it for logistics, like let's say your camera crew needs to be in there all morning setting up cameras, then you just don't feature them in the edit. We never fake a reaction, or we never have like an employee going, oh, on camera.
And I would like to issue a correction and a sincere apology. I do not know of a porn star named Lil Ray. Her name is Ray Lil Black.
Okay, so my name is Ray Lil Black, and I love it.
And I apologize to Ray and all of the porn aficionados out there for this mistake. I will do better.
That's the entirety of our viewership.
So Aaron, what do you have to say for what you've watched recently?
I just want to talk about my Alien 6-film collection. It's a Blu-ray pack. It includes digital copies of all the movies. It includes the alternate cuts of all the ones that have alternate cuts. And it's very featureful and well put together. And they're pretty quality printings. I mean, Warner Brothers in general, at least in my experience, puts out pretty quality Blu-rays. Except for those times where they just don't put one out because they feel shame towards the project they made.
Kangaroo Jack, Blu-ray. Jack Frost, Blu-ray. Nothing But Trouble, Blu-ray. Come on.
Okay, I can't agree with Nothing But Trouble.
Fuck you.
I was actually impressed that this collection had everything on a digital copy as well. I sometimes just watch these on flights and stuff like that. Because I bought the Avatar: The Last Airbender Blu-ray set or whatever for my girlfriend a while ago, and that does not come with digital anything.
No, of course.
And it's also just up-resed original footage, apparently.
No.
Yeah.
If you're going to release a TV show on Blu-ray and you don't have actual 1080p, just do... Because there's a bunch of animes do this. You just put it on the disc at 480p, but you can put more episodes per disc because it holds more. So there's the benefit of the Blu-ray, but you're not lying to anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no. I'm a big fan of this franchise. Alien is one of my favorite movies. Aliens is... a lot of people think of them as equally good. I don't. Aliens is really good. It's a genuinely very good movie. It doesn't have anything on Alien. Alien has a great atmosphere and some of the most tight technical filmmaking I've ever seen. Aliens does not. It's a well put together action flick, but Alien is so careful about how everything looks, while the Aliens, I mean, part of this is by necessity because they use so many of them, but in Aliens, the xenomorphs regularly look kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, I'm going to be very clear about this to our podcast audience. You're wrong about Alien 3 and Prometheus. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yep.
Good movies.
Good movies.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection sucks ass. It's bad.
I'll accept if someone tells me Alien Resurrection is bad. That's fair.
Yeah.
But Prometheus...
You will accept it because it's true.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Yeah.
What do you like about Alien Resurrection? I'm curious.
Oh, I wasn't defending it as good. Yeah, sorry. I mean,
okay, that's.
I don't think it's the.
It's not. I will say I don't dislike it as much as the fourth one. Wait, is that the fourth one?
Alien
That's
Resurrection
the fourth
is the fourth one.
No, I hate that one.
Yeah.
What did you think I was? You thought I was talking about 3?
I confuse Covenant and Resurrection a lot.
Yeah, Covenant's fine.
No, yeah. To be clear, I was not defending Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the worst one. But I don't think it's a 0. I think it has a few things. But
this is why just put a number at the end. Just put a number at the end.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Covenant's just boring.
Alien 3 is a really, really good movie, and it has it's very well put together. It was a horrible production disaster that David Fincher left, and there's some weird green screening.
Oh yes,
there's some very weird green screening.
The extended cut especially is good.
Yes, the extended cut fleshes out a lot of the characters and just generally fills the movie out in a way that you want. Because Alien 1 has a director's cut that adds a few minutes and they're pointless, and all it does is damage the pacing.
Okay.
Aliens has a good special edition which adds actually coherent content, and Alien 3 just improves the movie in general. I really like the Alien 3 director's cut. It's one of the best reasons to buy a box set like this, is to get that version of the movie.
Well, it's weird because Fincher wanted to disassociate himself with that, right?
Yeah. Oh, he did.
But his red camera is still called the Xenomorph. His 8K specialized camera is called the Xenomorph.
Yeah. No. No. He did. He tried to separate himself from the movie, but
he tried to take his name out of the credits or something.
Oh yeah,
he did.
Alan Smithy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe it does say a different name in the credits. He did a good job. The movie wasn't exactly what we wanted it to be, so I understand why he was pissed off. But it's a good movie, especially when it was. Yeah, especially when it was returned to its more intended state in the director's cut.
He was just angry because the movie didn't meet his astronomical standards, but just
Mank
because
does?
But Mank does.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, I can recommend this box set. It's a good way to get the different cuts of the movies all in one place, have digital versions of everything, and just, it's a good thing to own.
To turn to my recommendations for the week, or it's not even necessarily recommendations. What have I seen this week? I also would like to bring up a box set, the Arrow Video Shinya Tsukamoto box set, which overall very good. It's a very great box set. It's fascinating because Shinya Tsukamoto is the type of filmmaker where he has his hands on every single element of every single movie he makes, at least early in his career. That's how he ran things. But still to this day, all of the Blu-ray transfers that are present on Arrow Video, and they look great, he did those all himself. Did the remasters, which I'm not aware of anything quite like that.
No.
It's cool. But Arrow was able to snatch up 8 of his feature lengths and 3 shorts. Everyone knows him primarily as Tetsuo, the Iron Man guy. He directed those. It has Tetsuo. It has the first sequel to Tetsuo, and then it has some other movies. But recently, I did a double feature, which was 2 movies that were on the same disc. I watched A Snake in June and Vital. A Snake in June is an erotic thriller. It was shot in black and white, and then somewhere along the line, they decided to tint the whole movie blue, which is something you don't... I mean, there's old movies back when, things had to be in black and white, where they tinted scenes just to give some sort of color pop. But as far as I'm aware, there's not really any movie that's, fully tinted, unless you guys know of anything.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, but it's unique because it's all blue. The whole thing is blue, and it's very there, and there's very distinct moments of white, but it's just a very well put together thriller. It's about a woman who's not happy in a relationship, and she starts getting calls from a stalker who's taking photos of her. He's blackmailing her. Just very well done. Shinya Tsukamoto is a great actor. And speaking of that, I also recently watched Shin Godzilla, and I was pretty surprised to see he's in that. Oh. Which was cool, because I was like, who is that? And I just couldn't put my finger on it, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh my god, that's him.
That's cool. That's one I've been meaning to look at. Shin Godzilla.
Director?
No.
Movie.
Yeah, that too. I do. From hearing about Tetsuo from you two, I definitely want to watch that as well.
Yeah, it's badass.
It's awesome. One of my favorites.
It's also an hour.
Oh yeah, it's super short. All of his movies are super short. But the other movie that was on that disc, I didn't love it. I just wanted to throw a little note toward it, was Vital, which is about a medical student. He's a medical student, and he is in a class where he's examining a cadaver, and it's a class where, they're examining it over months and months, but he finds that it is his dead girlfriend who died in a car accident with him. Oh. And he has amnesia over her, so he develops his memories of her through looking at her corpse.
That's
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucked up incredibly, and I think it has a lot of flaws. I don't love it, but the effects work on the cadavers is... You've never seen a dead body like this in a movie, because the special effects guy, they watched an actual autopsy.
Oh.
Watched an actual dead body be dissected.
Jesus.
So
how's that for some research?
He's so nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, we had to do it for the movie.
I don't know if I could do that.
That reminds me of the fact that George Miller used to work in a hospital, and that was the inspiration for Mad Max stunts.
Oh yeah,
was to see some of the shit that happened to people.
But like I said, in movies I've never seen this before, but it's like they are cadavers. all their blood is gone and replaced with other stuff, so they're completely dried out, and they're yellowed, and it's just so disgusting. And I watched it when I had a pretty bad hangover, so I was sick to my stomach.
Jesus.
And that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, wow.
But it's a great box set, and if you can get your hands on it, I don't know the availability, definitely do that. But yes, Shinya Tsukamoto, Solid Metal Nightmares from Arrow Video, very great.